Hello everyone, this is the Crimson Cure, welcoming you to the Crimson Tower, a place where we keep a feminine foot on the neck of the gynocracy, feminism, and black male misandry. So go ahead, pull up a chair, stay a while, and listen.
For over 2 decades, we focused on one philosophy, the 10 life values. A system that helps us examine our lives, our vision, our leadership. Our products and our services are exclusively for men, all men. The ones who teach and mentor our kids, maintain our livestock and grow our food, make and repair our products, saves us from catastrophe, and protect our nation. The 10 life values are woven into every product and service we create. Because at the end of the day, our vision is to see all men from every community equipped with the appropriate processes and the necessary tools to be excellent fathers and the best version of themselves they can be.
Hey, my Crimsonites! How we doing? How's everybody? Who we got? J Toko, we got A.L. Evans, we got Malika, Demetrius, Greg, Fred Feminine, Ebo Sosa. Let's see who else. We got Quentin, Y Skinner. Hey, Dr. Michelle. We got Chano, Cartier, Alton, Sage of the Lotus. Hey, Buko. How's everybody doing? I know it's Monday, but it don't feel too bad. I got some goodies in the mail. I don't know if everybody else like getting packages, but I love getting packages. This is what was in one of my packages. Hey, DOD, this was in one of my packages. Some dresses. They're like button-down shirts. So I was like happy they got like a little design. See, I'm gonna show y'all. See, they got like a little design, like the little lady or whatever. So I like them. They long. It's got like some splits in it, but I like the little design. It was real simple. Thank you, Sage. So I got like this in like a couple of colors. Cause I'm like, ooh, these cute. Cause listen, I fell victim to, if y'all ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about. I fell victim to one of the many websites that you will see scrolling by on Instagram or Facebook or whatever, and they be having like the little dresses or the little whatever, and it's always a website with a whacked out name to it, and you be trying to figure out, I wonder if this place will actually give me my clothes if I pay for them. So I took a chance because it was just too many dresses on that site that was cute. I was like, okay, I'm gonna take a chance. And you know what? When I take a chance, I do it with PayPal. I take chances with PayPal. So, and the reason I do it through PayPal is because you can cancel through PayPal. PayPal will give your money back. And it's almost an indirect way to buy, because you don't just put your information into the website if you don't know about that website. So if I've never really shopped on that website too much or whatever, I won't put my actual card information. I'll just buy it through PayPal. Hey, Young Manhood. Thank you, Michael. So I'm finally got, like, it's a victory because I finally got clothes that fit me this time. Cause losing weight is awesome, but one of the things you run into is my clothes don't fit anymore. All of them are too big. So I actually have to adjust it in my mind, because in my mind I'm still buying 2 and 3X stuff. So when I see it on a website, I'm like, ooh, well, let's see if they got plus size 2 or 3X, because I'm accustomed to that. And I have to actually understand that you don't need that size anymore. Ranger One, thank you so much, said, hey, Danica said email her dmariepoet@gmail. She wants you on a future broadcast. Oh, okay, that's great. That's nice. Thank you, Ranger One, for letting me know. So, hey, Ray. Says salute, sis. Salute to you, sweetheart. Are you in the same boat? Hey, my love is divine. With the clothes. Yeah. Give me 1 second. So, what am I talking about? Money won't make you into a man. Who am I talking to? Who am I talking about? Okay, so if you guys watch my video that I dropped earlier today, you will know that I pointed you guys to a Twitter page that was about liberation in a generation, quote unquote. Liberation for Black women specifically. It was very specific that Black women needed to be liberated. Right? So I want to go ahead and share the screen. I'm going to share it. And it's real quick. Nothing too tough. So here was the Twitter page again. Liberation in a Generation. And I clicked this little banner to take me to this page. Black Her. Blacker, but Black Her is proud to present Black Women's Economic Liberation Summit in partnership with Liberation in a Generation. And I was supposed that happened on the 17th. And it says, it will take all of us to secure freedom for Black women, but we are the best authority on a better future. We, Black women, are the best authority on a better future? That's why Black Her and Liberation in a Generation are bringing together Black women leaders for a 2-hour, 2-panel summit to reimagine and advance our economic liberation. Rooted in Janelle Jones's Black Women Best framework, the Black Women's Economic Liberation Summit will elevate the pathways to structural change that are necessary to advance wealth building opportunities for Black women. So these were like the panelists for number 1 and panel number 2. So, just wanted to show y'all that real quick. Told you it wasn't too such of a much. But I wanted to pair that with what I read to you about those quotes. And I'll read the quote again, where they're sitting up there talking about we need to be, liberation looks like self-determination, self-actualization, and autonomy free from the toxic, deadly stress and burden of white supremacy, patriarchy, and misogyny. And when we hit those little gifts that I was talking about, just to share a few of them, it says when Black women's inherent value as humans is reflected in policy and interpersonal practice. And then there's more. Black women's needs are met, our dreams supported, and our humanity affirmed. I'm just reading you some of the quotes that are on this Twitter feed. We will know we are free when no longer on the bottom of the economic totem pole, when we are seen for our worth and as equals. The closure of the racial wealth gap, true financial equity and equality, wealth accumulation opportunities for generations. And just a couple more, just to drive the point home. We will be free when we have the unrestricted right to vote, acquire knowledge, sustain our health, and amass wealth. 0% type 2 diabetes rate. We can occupy space and not have to justify why we're there. And there's a couple more. An environment in which Black women can care for families without concern for how to feed or keep them safe. That would be provision and protection. When Black women are safe from harm and can live healthy, whole lives. Now, the reason why I wanted to reread those and sort of drive the point home more, which ties into the title of what I've got here, Money Won't Make You Into a Man. Because what it seems like to me is that these Black women and other Black women who think like this, they seem to believe that pursuit of wealth will somehow elevate them to the position of being men, to free them from the need of men. Basically, they feel like, or they believe that the acquisition of wealth and different so-called opportunities in this country will change their biology in such a way that they'll be able to provide themselves with the 4 P's rather than rely on masculinity and men to get it for them. Essentially, they'll be able, along with wealth, to acquire the necessary masculinity needed to completely free themselves from the necessity of masculinity embodied within men. So I know I said that a couple of different ways, but I have a tendency to repeat myself and phrase differently just so people can understand exactly what I'm saying and how deep it actually goes. Because this is the freedom that they seek. They're not in chains. They're not enslaved. So what freedom are we actually talking about? They'll talk about palm-colored supremacy, but black women are not the ones that are disproportionately suffering from that system. As a matter of fact, it could be argued that black women are what's the word? I lost the word. Benefiting. There you go. Benefiting from palm-colored supremacy, which is why it's a gynocracy in the first place. That's the pay. That's the payoff. Can I get the likes up? Yeah, shout out to Torian, because I did say palm-colored supremacy. I got 113 wonderful Crimsonites, but I just got 66 likes. Okay. So, getting back to what I was talking about. It could be said that black women actually benefit from palm-colored supremacy, because this is how the gynocracy gets paid to be a gynocracy. So I find it interesting that they are attempting to be down with palm-colored supremacy, but you benefit off of it. And not only do you benefit off of it collectively, you also collectively harbor all of its values, its value system, which does not value black families, black men, black women, black children, black anything. Thank you, Kinshasa. Said thank you. You have been a blessing to me in my journey. And it was my pleasure. It is always my humble pleasure, sweetheart, for you and any lady to get anything beneficial out of me. My humble pleasure. Hey, sheep. When they say patriarchy, they mean men, black men, when they say they want to be free from that. But when they talked about what freedom meant to them, first of all, it was a fantastical definition of freedom, because women in general, gynocrats specifically, have a tendency to think freedom means free things. Freedom does not mean free things. See, only a woman would think that freedom means I get to get stuff and I don't necessarily have to do a lot of work for it. I could just get it. It just has to be given to me. See, this is a female thought pattern, that when I want stuff, stuff has to be given to me. When I want the 4 Ps, it has to be given to me, because we know inherently that we do not produce that. That is a product of masculinity. Thank you, sheep. Says salute, sis, and the Crimsonites A-Game family. Yep. Thank you so much, sweetheart. See, the 4 Ps is something that masculinity produces. femininity, female nature, womanhood does not produce those four things. Those are specifically parts of his nature. Okay? They are parts of his nature, not part of our nature. Our nature receives those four P's, which is why when they were asked about what their vision of freedom was, they never said we work for this stuff. They said we just want to be able to take care of our families, quote unquote, because I don't believe that single mother-led households are family structures. They're just people living together, but there's no structure there. But anyway, that's a different conversation. They just want to be able to take care of their families without worrying about provision and protection, and really even problem solving. They don't really have to worry about that stuff, because it is in a woman's mind that is given to her. Someone has to give her provisions, make sure that her and her children are eating. Someone has to give her protection. This is why women argue about it and get mad about it, and we're not being protected, because that is something that is given to women, not something that they provide to others or really even to themselves. Okay? So women on a base biological level, we understand that the four P's are not things that we give ourselves. That's just a reminder what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the four P's. Okay? I'm talking about this. I'm talking about provision, problem solving, protection, and procreation. These are not things that women give themselves, because the first thing is provision. It is a production of masculine light. No matter how masculine you are as a woman, you will never produce masculine light, because even though women harbor some masculine energy as a matter of course, we don't have enough of that to produce the masculine light. And if you're wondering exactly what masculine light is the thing that make your heart jump when you see him come in the door, and that's the man you love. That's masculine light. Masculine light is the thing that make Hello Kitty juice up when you think about the stuff he do and all the stuff that's, you know what I'm saying, that he is. That's his masculine light. If you're wondering what masculine light is, it's the thing you crave in the relationship if he don't give it to you. It's the thing you get jealous about if you think he's giving it to another woman. And I'm not talking about Magic Stick either. All right. So if you having any questions about what is Crimson Cure talking about masculine light, that's masculine light. The thing that make you toot the booty up when he come around, that's masculine light. The thing that put a smile on your face when his text message come through, masculine light. All right. For those of you who were wondering, not only is the provision masculine light, it gives him the ability to look ahead and or prepare in advance. That would be foresight. That is not something that women have an abundance of by nature, biologically speaking. He generates stability in the form of ideas, supplies, food, finances, clothing, housing, etc. So provision is the provision of security and stability. By nature, women do not provide this for ourselves because we are naturally chaotic, and that is without any stability. Okay? That's without stability. Chaos is inherently unstable. This isn't to run women down. This is pointing out what our biology is versus what his biology is, and the fact that gaining wealth, something that is external to you, is not going to change what is internal to you. Amassing wealth. Okay, on to the next chart. Wealth is number 10. It is part of the external 5 of the 10 life values. Gaining that external 5 isn't going to do anything for the internal 5. Absolutely nothing. Gaining wealth does nothing for your spiritual self if you have not worked on your spiritual self. And part of the spiritual value is know thyself. And if you know yourself, that means you know your biology. And if you know your biology as a woman, you know you don't give yourself the 4 P's. That is something that is given to you by men, either on an interpersonal level or you are gaining it from a structure that men created. So money don't make you a man. See, what's going on is these gynocrats are out here trying to be free of their biological connection, free of their biological need for men. And it's not gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. Financial freedom, financial wealth. See, money only solves money problems. Money solves money problems. Anything that can be paid for, that you can throw a bag at it and it go away, that's money problems. If you have money, you can solve money problems. But no matter how much money you get, you can't solve spiritual problems if you don't address spiritual problems. You have to address spiritual problems first. You got to address your spiritual value in order for it to be corrected. And I don't care how much of the 10 life values that you attempt to address, it will never change your biology. It will only confirm it. You will only come to realize as women, I need the 4 P's and I don't give them to me. Men give them to me. That's what they trying to be free from. I just want to take care of my family and don't have to worry about the feeding and the protection. That's a man. Because when you are in your femininity as a woman and taking care of your business as a woman, you about your womanly business, then you don't have to worry about where the food is really coming from, because you have a man that's actually going to worry about that for you. He's gonna deal with the provision for you. He's gonna problem solve for you, with you at best. You can join him in the problem solving if you've got proper insight. But this is his arena. These women are making the same mistake that they're trying to follow a path that they think men should do. Well, if he just go get wealth and if he just go get this and that, then everything will be fixed. But since he quote unquote won't do that or won't do it for me, then I have to be the one to go actually out and do it. And that's the pathway to freedom. No, it's not. Thinking that you're going to come together and exclude black men, black boys out of the equation and then only focus on the acquisition of wealth, this is a mistake. And this proves that women don't understand mobility. Also, it proves that these women don't understand Biocotylerons. Remember, for those of you who are new, this is Biocotylerons. It is biology, culture, and environment, but not separately. Okay? Biocotyleron is a trifecta of transformation. The trifecta, the achievement of the synergistic effect of biology, culture, and environment as they simultaneously interact to produce the energy needed for transformation, regardless of the outcome being good or bad. So Biocotyleron is actually the interplay between all three things together at the same time, not one or the other at different times. One or the other at different times are just those singular things: biology, culture, and environment. But when you interact with them together, when one changes the other, that changes the other, that's Biocotyleron, because it's a transformative process that is meant to produce a value system, whether that's a good one or a bad one. Okay? And these women don't understand Biocotyleron because they are attempting to do something different within a set Biocotyleron that they live in right now, with the value system attached to it. You're not going to be able to change the environment without affecting the culture and the biology, and think you're going to have a transformation, and think you're going to have a different result. At best, you're just trying to get some elbow room where you are. That doesn't change where you are, nor the nature of where you are. And how do you use a value system born from palm color supremacy to fight palm color supremacy? That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. You cannot fight palm color supremacy working underneath the brainwash of palm color supremacy. You're working within its confines, ma'am. You're doing better work than all of them combined. They just sent you in like a Terminator. And you've been doing a dang on good job of it. Unfortunately, they set you up in a gynocracy. They fed you feminism. You ate it like a hungry dog eating scraps. Took it to a completely different level. And the black community is a wasteland because of these ideals that was taught through the culture over and over and over for generations now, that both negatively affect the men and the women, just play out in different ways. You're still laboring under the same value system because you believe just like the palm color supremacist believes. You believe that the black man is not necessary for the advancement of black women, when there's no group in the world, there's no civilization in the world that actually has that dynamic. What you think you gonna do? if you acquire wealth as a group of women and you leave your men and your boys behind, what you think you gonna overcome palm color supremacy? You're gonna be able to overcome the combined efforts of Joey and Becky together? Is that what you think? That they're gonna allow you to overcome them using a value system they gave you? When they understand Biocotylerons and you don't. You think you're really going to be able to do that? Because economics does not by itself topple anything. It's a bunch of rich black people in this country. There's a lot of, whether they famous or not, it's a lot of rich black people in this country. Thank you, Datorian. You think Brad and Becky, that's been taught the concept of Biocotylerons since they was little, are gonna allow you to come in and step over the top of them so what, you can reign supreme and then do what? Be toppled by somebody? Because you don't have system, order, and structure? Because you're a woman and you don't have no leadership? Because your biology at some point is going to take precedence over all this other stuff and you're going to revert back to just being a woman? Knock it off. Because it doesn't work. Nothing about that makes sense or works at all. You don't even understand how the world works. So how you gonna leave your men behind to go conquer, quote unquote, the world? How do it work? Answer that question. Riddle me that, Batman. How do the world work? You got 15 seconds to comply. I need to know the answer. You don't know the answer. Because you think raising your boys like hyenas do hyena males in a clan is beneficial to you. When all that you've done is play out every single checkpoint of palm color supremacy on how to destroy you and keep you destroyed. I would wager that there are more wealthy black people in this country right now than there was during the time of Tulsa, Oklahoma, but we can't rebuild Tulsa. Why not? It's not money. Enough of us can come together with money. It's not money. See, we concentrate a lot on how Tulsa was destroyed, but nobody's concentrating on how it was built and why it was there in the first place. Shout out to Sheep Stay Sleep, who told us just earlier that if our communities and if our families were unnecessary, why did they destroy it? Why put so much effort into destroying it in the first place? And putting in a value system in us that would make us keep it destroyed. Why do that in the first place? Oh, sorry, Ronan. Timeouts are timeouts. Can't be reversed. Sorry about that, Renee. Nobody's concentrating on how Tulsa, Oklahoma came to be. What were the principles? What were the things that black people were doing together that actually made places like Tulsa and Rosewood and all these places be successful or come to be in the first place? Of course, it's important to understand its demise, but it's more important to understand its rise and its beginnings, because we have not rebuilt that. And it don't have nothing to do with money, because it is a lot of black people in this country now with money. Because we are living in a value system that says the external five are the most important and the only things that are important, and that spiritual value, health value, family value, appearance, and dwelling value are of much less importance, to the point where it can actually be ignored and you still move forward in a sustainable way. We can even see on an individual level that if you gain the external five, but you don't gain the internal five, then the wealth that you accumulated is not sustainable. How many black people have been famous and rich, and then as soon as they're no longer playing ball or no longer making records or whatever they were doing, a year or 2, 3 years later, they are broke? How you make millions of dollars? Look at what Mike Tyson went through. You know how big them fight purses were? Millions and millions of dollars per fight, especially after he rose to being a championship boxer. Those purses are millions of dollars. You want to fight Mike Tyson? We putting up money. And after all of them troubles, not boxing anymore, he didn't have that money. He didn't have that money. Now he got some money now, but he didn't have that money after a while, after not boxing. Then he did that stint in jail. It was a lot of things going on with him. He was broken. He'll tell you himself. He was broken. He did not have a handle on the internal five at all. But he had acquired wealth with little education. His focus became his profession, his leisure, and his wealth. Didn't really understand mobility, although he had it. Like I said, very little education. Spiritual value was a mess because of how he was raised, where he was raised. His health he took seriously and for the most part, until drugs got into it. But I mean, in the beginning, yeah, his health was of importance because of his profession. But his family value was crap again, the way he was raised. How he thought of families, how he thought of himself, how he thought of women, how he thought of them things was messed up because he was raised in the lap of a gynocrat. He just happened to have talent. He just happened to run into Customato that gave him some leadership, that presented SOS to him, that gave him some type of structure where he had none. Whole life was chaotic. And I'm using Mike Tyson not to run him down if he ever hears this video, because I like Mike Tyson. I've always liked Mike. I never believed the accusation of him either. I never believed that. I just didn't believe that. But he's always been publicly honest, even if it didn't make him look very good. His appearance value was down for a lot of that time because of a lot of his troubles, a lot of sound bites that you can find on YouTube actually that was like, what? You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. So, a lot of those internal five was messed up for him. So he was unable to remain, with that money. The only reason Floyd Mayweather got his is because his daddy stayed alive and his uncle long enough to pop him on the back of his head. Hey, boy, you're not finna mess all this money up. Now we done done a lot with the Mayweather name, and till you do right by me, you gonna mess this money up. Cause we see kind of, you know, do interesting things with his money. But there are two older men there. That gave Floyd some type of, hey, you got some boundaries. You got some accountability somewhere to men. You have some accountability to men. See, only structures require accountability. Leadership requires accountability. And these women who are trying to escape their biology through wealth don't want any accountability, because women don't have leadership in SOS. That's why we not accountable until we get with a man that has that. Women don't have accountability until they run into leadership and SOS. That's what holds women accountable. Otherwise, we're chaos. We are not accountable. You got to make us be accountable, or else we won't do it. Just do what we want to do. And if it ain't no consequences, okay. That's as good as we want it anyway. So everybody that's asking women to just be accountable on their own, not gonna happen. The best of a woman is still a woman, and she not accountable until some structure somewhere makes her. She gotta be made to answer to somebody. Men have a better time of it. Men can fall into the chaos of no accountability as well, but they have a better time of that than we do, because they can at some point create a system, order, and structure if they got a mind for that, and then live by it. Hold their own selves accountable. But see, even other men, like beta men, have to be accountable to alpha men somewhere, or an alpha male's leadership or his system. He got to be accountable. Are y'all following what I'm saying? Because I know alpha and beta, you know, is used a lot in this space, a lot of it incorrectly, but that's what I'm saying. Even males who are beta, who don't necessarily have a mind to create their own structures, when they're accountable to an alpha's structure somewhere, wherever they got it from. Whether that's direct, or they read it somewhere, or they're utilizing a system that they know of. So leadership, system, order, and structure makes accountability possible, because it can enforce it. These women want to be free of that. And I keep saying it, they want to be free of their biological need for masculinity to provide things to them that they cannot provide to themselves, namely the 4 P's. You heard what they said. They want to be able to feed and protect and problem solve for themselves and their family without worrying about how that happens. That's a woman's thought. We don't want to worry about the source. We just want it done. I don't want to worry about how my man came up with the money to go get groceries. I just want the money to go get groceries. Okay? It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't want to worry about the details that if something happened, how is he gonna protect me? The details of how my man gonna protect me. I just want to know that if something happened to me or something is going on with the kids or whatever, that he got something in the works, he got some type of idea about how he gonna do that. I don't even need the details. I might be uncomfortable with the details. I don't know. He might not even want to share them details with me. That's fine by me. Because all that I want is the understanding and the assurity that I'll be protected underneath him. If I put myself underneath him and underneath his leadership and underneath his system or structure, I want the security of knowledge that he will find me worthy of protecting. Because men get possessive. They see you as belonging to them. So they protect things that belong to them. Money don't make you a man, sis. It never will. You will never be free of being a woman. Your biology will always be your biology. I don't care how you try to twist it or turn it. I really don't. You will always need masculinity in your life to propel you forward. Women do not become better without masculine light and leadership born of masculinity. Women do not become better without masculine light and the leadership that is born of masculinity. We will stay stunted. You can see it all around you. Women are emotionally and mentally stunted. The 16-year-old and the 45-year-old think the same way now. Because the 45-year-old never allowed herself to be under the leadership of a man. So she didn't get to elevate herself underneath that. It's not meant to keep women down. It's actually meant to raise us in levels. That's the other lie that feminism told women. That men's masculinity only bogs her down and keeps her from reaching the full potential of herself. That is a lie. The opposite is true. When women do not have access to proper masculine light and the leadership that comes from that, we degrade. We don't ascend. We do not become better. We become worse. We become the worst versions of ourselves. The worst parts of our female nature begin to come out because there's no check to make us accountable for what we're doing and what we're saying and how we're presenting ourselves. Because there is no structure, only chaos. This is why the 45-year-old woman and the 16-year-old woman think the same way. They do the same stuff. Try to be with the same man. Try to go to the same places, dress in the same clothes. You would think that the older woman had lived through life and learned a few things and able to teach the younger one something, but she's not. She's not any more mature or intelligent or emotionally developed than the young girl. And this is because we've gone generations now while shunning the leadership and the masculinity of men. I don't need no man. All he can do is come back, give me a couple of dollars and give me some of that thing. I don't want nothing else. And which is why you still 12 years old emotionally. So we're going to have to knock it off. Thinking that if you live by the reverse version of the 10 life values, you're going to get somewhere. We have not gotten anywhere doing that. We got that belief system from them. They told you, oh, if you just get some money, you'll be all right. No. No. That has never been how this works. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. We've tried that. We tried that. No. When are we going to get it through our heads that we're going to have to address ourselves on a spiritual level, on a personal level, before we can do any building? The men are building, and we need to address ourselves so we can support that build. You busy off trying to separate yourself. Well, if I get my own money, I don't need him. Girl, you stupid. Anytime some civilization tried to be all women, listen, Themyscira is a fictional place. It is not real. The Amazons and the Amazonian culture, fake. All cap. Thank you, Mr. Brown. All cap. All of it. Wonder Woman is a fictional character from the DC comic universe. Diana Prince is not real. She don't have, the little bracelets. Y'all got them bracelets down, Pat. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all be deflecting. Y'all be like, bing, 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 bing. Y'all got that down, Pat, that it might be real. I don't know. That part might be real. But the part, I know you ain't got that lasso of truth. I know that. Mess around and wrap that on your own self one of them days. You be messed up in the game. She not real. Them living a life with no men and, and all this kind of stuff that, it's not real. You don't build anything. And you can't even support it properly because you're not proper up here. I'm going to answer one thing before I cut out. Wise one said black men are not building though. And what does that have to do with the waywardness and the dysfunction of black women? You ain't got to answer. Absolutely nothing. Whether black men build or don't build, whether they build out of Lego or build out of bricks, they can be building something out of chewing gum. What does that have to do with the dysfunction that black women have immersed themselves in for about 70 years now? Absolutely nothing. Dun, 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 dun. Wonder Woman not real, but Superman might be if he took a game. Right? Am I right, fellas? Superman might actually be real. That might be how it ain't the yellow sun, it's a game that's got this dude able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. You see what I'm saying? A game is a natural herbal solution for men. 21 herbs, no funny stuff, no artificial ingredients, nothing that's gonna make him crash or be tired, or there's no caffeine, no sugar, no artificial sweeteners, nothing. Just 21 awesome herbs to help men address their health by addressing their blood flow, which affects their vitality, their energy, their strength, and their libido. So if you want to be part of the A Game family, it's super, super simple. All you got to do is go down into the description box, hit the link for A Game at agameherbal.com, and you can get a 10% discount using the code Kendra10 at checkout. And you can have your box of A Game on its way ASAP. Thank you, my lovers divine. And with that being said, I want to thank everyone for coming through. I want to thank everyone for contributing. Let me see if there were any cash apps, because I don't get any notifications for those. So I have to actually go and check the cash app. So thank you, Ebo Sosa. Shout out to the A Game family. JD. Uncle Buck, thank you so much. D-Rock Den, thank you. Mr. Punch Out, thank you. And thank you, Red Pill Savage. So don't forget to post the cash out. Much love. So thank everybody for coming through, everyone for contributing. And I'm going to go wrap this up. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.
Hey guys, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. And if you've got more to say on the topic, leave a comment down below. Also, don't forget to support our sponsor who so graciously supports this channel by clicking the description box and the link for A-Game at agameherbal.com. You can go ahead and get a 10% discount off of your next purchase using the code Kendra10. This has been yet another Crimson Cure production, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.